Good afternoon, Elias5891 is out to watch the solar eclipse today, so filling in it's Timwe with another KTANE module tutorial. Today we're going to go over two separate modules because they are very, very similar. They are the moon and the sun. This is what they look like. The sun has yellow buttons and they're all spiky, and the moon has blue buttons and they're all round, semicircles and crescent shapes. First of all, we're going to need all of the edge work. Now, each of these modules have 8 compass directions, north, northeast, east, etc. And for each compass direction there is an outer button and an inner button. And on top of that there is a single center button. The moon has the same thing. There are outer buttons, 8 of them, inner buttons, and a center button. The only thing that the diffuser needs to read out to the expert is, in the case of the sun, where the LED is. The LED is always to the side of one of the triangles, but it's the triangle that matters. So here you would say north. So north is the one that has the LED. In the case of the moon, there are always 4 lit adjacent and 4 unlit adjacent buttons. So all you need to say is where the first lit is, first in clockwise order, which would be northeast here, and then the expert can write down, well, if northeast is the first lit, then these just come in order, and then after that the unlit ones come in order. Unlit 4. Now let's take a look at the manual. The first thing we notice is there is this table which asks for a lot of edge work related information. And in the case of the sun, they are all in order from the one where the LED was. For us, the LED was at north. So let's fill it in. Number of indicators, we have 2. Number of consonants in the serial number. Well, India is a vowel, so that one doesn't count. So we have 3 consonants, Bravo, Mike, and Sierra. Then we have number of batteries, digits in serial, ports, modules, we have only the sun and the moon, so that's 2. Battery holders, we have 2. And port plates, we have only 1. The situation is very similar for the moon. Let's write down the information here. The manual has a table that is very similar. However, we need to pay attention to these labels because this time they are not in order. We start with the first lit set, which is the number of D batteries, which would be 2 in our case. But then we move on to the second unlit set, which is down here, which is the consonants in serial, that would be 3 as before. The third lit set, which is this one. Digits in serial, we have 2. And then it says third lit set from right. This means the third as you count backwards, 1, 2, 3. So it's always the second lit. So you can read this as second lit set. Number of A batteries, we have 0. The fourth unlit set has the number of ports, which is 3. The second unlit set from the right, again, that means the third unlit set. Indicators, we have 2. The final unlit set, which is unlit 1, is the number of modules. We have 2, the sun and the moon. And the final set is lit 4, which is the number of port plates. There's only 1. Now, going back to the sun. For each variable that is less than 2 modulo 7, we use the outer button. So let's see which ones of these are less than 2. 1 is less than 2, that's the only one. Everything that is at least 2 and less than 5, so that would be 2, 3, and 4, we use the inner button. In this case, that's all of the others. For the moon, the situation is exactly the same, modulo 7, except that the outer button also pertains to numbers 2 or less. So for the sun, it says less than 2, for the moon, it says less than 3. So here we have a 0, we have a 2, we have lots of 2s, and then the remaining ones are inner. Now we know which buttons to press, but we don't know which order to press them in. So in the case of the sun, we start with the northernmost set and move clockwise for the total number of modules on the bottom. Northernmost is here, down 2 because we have 2 modules, so this is the first one that we will press. The rest of the order is determined by the characters in the serial number. So let me write them out like this. We change all of the letters to their alphabetic positions. So Bravo becomes 2, Mike is 13, Sierra is 19, India is 9. And then we take all of them modulo 10, which means just use the last digit. So that's a 9, that's a 3. If that number is now less than 5, we go counterclockwise, otherwise clockwise. So 9, 9, 8 are greater than 4, so those are clockwise, the remaining are counterclockwise. So starting from the one that's our first set, we go counterclockwise 3 times. And now we need to go clockwise from here. So, well, that one we already visited. So we keep going clockwise until we hit one that's unused. And then we keep going clockwise, because it's 3 clockwise. And then you will be left with one that is unused. That one will be number 8. And now we can just order them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is the order in which we need to press them. Let's see if this is correct. East inner, northeast inner. North inner, northwest outer. Southeast inner, south inner. Southwest inner, west inner. And that's the sun solved. Now for the moon, the order in which to do things is a little bit more complicated. Here are the steps. We start with the serial number. Again, we change all the letters to their numeric positions. Like this. Now, we put a 0 in front of all of the numbers that are less than 10, so that everything is 2 digits. And now we reverse the 2 digits, so 0, 2 becomes 20, this becomes 31, 0 stays the same, 91, 90, and 80. And now we need to take these numbers modulo 7. Modulo 7. So this 20 is 14 plus 6. 31 is 28 plus 3. 0 is 0. 91 is 70 plus 21, which is divisible. So that's divisible. 90 is 1 less, so that must be a 6. And 80 is 70 plus 10. 10 is 7 plus 3. So that's a 3. And now, for every number that is less than 4, we have a clockwise movement, otherwise counterclockwise. So this is counterclockwise, clockwise, 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 counterclockwise, clockwise. The set where we start is similarly complicated, so let's find out. We start at unlit 4, and we count only the unlit sets, and we have to use the sum of the serial number digits. The serial number has a 0 and an 8 in it, so the sum is 8. So starting here, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the first set. Now we go counterclockwise. However, in the moon, unlike before with the sun, we go 2 steps at a time. So starting here, going 2 counterclockwise, we would land here. And then we're supposed to go 2 clockwise, which lands us straight back to here. Now we go only 1 step at a time until we find a space that is unused. So we land here. Then we go clockwise again, 2 steps. Clockwise again, 2 steps. Counterclockwise, we land here, so we move beyond that. We land here. Then 1 more clockwise, we land here. And then the final unused set is this one. Now let's reorder these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And at this point we can get rid of this information because now we know what we need to press. North inner, west inner. Northeast outer, southeast outer. Southwest outer, east outer. South outer, northwest outer. So that was our first bomb of 2 modules. I will quickly go through both of these modules again on another bomb. Okay, here we are. We have a sun where the LED is in the southeast, so let's write that down. Southeast is the LED. And then looking at the manual, we have number of indicators, there are 2. Consonants in serial, Delta November Foxtrot, that's 3. Batteries, we have 5. Digits in the serial number, we have 3. Ports, there are none. Modules, we have 2. Battery holders, we have 3. And port plates, we don't have any. Less than 2 means outer. Between 2 and 5, so 2, 3, 4 means inner. And finally 5 and more means we press the center button. We start with the northern set and move clockwise for the total number of modules on the bomb, that's 2. So just as before, our first set is east. And then we take the digits here. Delta is a 4, November is a 14, so that's a 4 modulo 10. Foxtrot is a 6, and now everything that's less than 5 is counterclockwise. And everything that's greater than 4 is clockwise. So from the 1 we move clockwise, then counterclockwise, then counterclockwise. Then another counterclockwise. Then clockwise again, and clockwise again. Now this will be our last set, however, we actually hit the set with the center button. And the manual says here, when you have pressed the center button, the module will be solved. So as soon as you get anywhere with the center button, you don't actually need to care about anything after that. Which means that if you hit the center button first, you get lucky. You only need to press one button. Okay, so let's put these in the right order. Start with east outer, then southeast inner, northeast inner, north inner, northwest outer, south inner, and southwest. Well, southwest doesn't matter, because center is center, and it's solved. We don't need to press the 8th direction. Now let's move on to the moon. Northeast is the first lit, so from there we number them 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have the unlit, 2, 3, 4. The first lit set, which is this one here, is the number of D batteries. Now 5 batteries in 3 holders means that we have 4 batteries in 2 holders, so 4 AAs, plus 1 battery in 1 holder, which is 1D. So for the first lit set, the number of D batteries is 1. The second unlit set, the consonants in serial are 3. Then we move to the third lit set, which is digits in serial, that's also 3. Then the second lit set, with a weird phrasing, is A batteries, which is 4. The fourth unlit set translates to the number of ports, which we don't have any. The third unlit set, indicators, is 2. The final unlit set, which is always unlit 1, is the number of modules. We have 2 on this bomb. And the final set is the number of port plates, which is 0. Now anything less than 3 translates to outer. And anything 3 or 4 translates to inner. Which means I missed this one, this is also outer. We don't have a center on this one, unfortunately, so we have to do the whole thing, 8 button presses. First, let's calculate the first set, so we start here and we go forward. The sum of the digits in the serial number, which is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 7 is 19. However, because we know we're going to be counting 4 at a time, we can take this modulo 4, and this is 16 plus 3. So we actually need to count only 1, 2, 3, and that's where we start. Now for the serial number characters, we have 8. I'm going to put the 0 in front straight away. Delta is 4, then another 4, November is 14, Foxtrot is 6, and then a 7. And now reverse the digits. And now take everything modulo 7. Well, this is 77 plus 3, 35 plus 5, 35 plus 6, 56 plus 4, and this is divisible. Anything less than 4 is clockwise. So that's clockwise, and that's clockwise. And then greater than 3 is counterclockwise. So counterclockwise, counterclockwise, counterclockwise. Starting here, we go 2 steps clockwise, so we land here. Then we go counterclockwise. Again, we skip the one that we've already visited, so we here. Then counterclockwise, counterclockwise, and another counterclockwise. And finally, clockwise lands us here. So we move forward, we land here, and the last one is this. Let's put this in order. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Now we can get rid of this information and read out to the diffuser: northwest outer, northeast outer. West inner, south outer. East inner, north outer. Southeast inner and southwest outer. And that's a solved module. I am now going to blank the screen, and here's the edge work for your bomb. You have 1 battery in 1 holder, a lit bob, a lit NSA, November SA, unlit CLR, 1 port plate with a parallel and serial port on it, and a serial number, Quebec Papa 5 Tango X-Ray 7. I've also put up both of the manuals, so you can look at both of the tables. And I will tell you that your sun has the LED at the north triangle, and your moon, your first lit, is west. See if you can solve the 2 modules. Pause the video here. Solution coming up in 3, 2, 1. And here's the solution. I have left the numbers here so you can see how the serial number translates into these digits and into these clockwise and counterclockwise movements, so you can check your answer. But this is the final answer with the correct ordering that you should have got. I will start by entering the sun. We have east outer, southeast inner, south inner, southwest inner, northeast inner, north inner and west outer, and finally northwest outer. On the moon, we have southwest outer, northwest outer. We have south inner. Then we have west outer, north outer, east outer, northeast outer, and southeast inner. As a quick note, let me show you what happens if you make a mistake and you get a strike. So on this sun module here, we have the solution here. Let's press some correct buttons: east inner, southeast outer, east inner, southeast outer, and then let's say we make a mistake and we press south outer instead of inner. We get a strike. The buttons that were lit before go out. At this point, the module expects you to start again, so it will expect you to go east inner again. However, the solution will not change. The LED does not move, so the solution is always the same. So you can always re-enter everything up to the point where you got the strike, because that will still be correct. Southwest outer, northeast inner, north outer, west inner, and northwest outer. The same is true of the moon. We have the solution right here. So let's press east inner and south outer, east inner and south outer. You will see that the lights kind of change. West outer, Now let's assume that instead of southeast outer, I accidentally said southeast inner. So I press this, I get a strike, and you will see that the lit LEDs are still in the same place that they were before. So the solution will still be the same. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below, or contact me on Discord, whichever you prefer. In the meantime, happy diffusing and don't explode.